How's it going, everybody? AZPlow21 back again with another pay-per-view here in our UFC save. And today we have for you live from London UFC 262 ADESANYA versus Edwards. Glad you guys can join me, whether you're watching on YouTube or on Twitch. Thank you guys, as always, for the support. I'm AZPlow21. Be sure to leave a like down on this video. Be sure to subscribe. Be sure to follow me on Twitch and Twitter. Let's get this going. Take a look at the main card. We got Michael Johnson taking on Kevin Lee. Dominic Cruz versus Montel Jackson. Diego Sanchez versus Matt Brown. Co-main event, Dustin Poirier taking on Jeremy Stephens in the lightweight division. And our main event, which was originally supposed to be Adesanya versus Darren Till for the middleweight championship. It is now Israel Adesanya taking on Leon Rocky Edwards for the middleweight championship of the world. All right, just realized that it is not on pay-per-view, so let's go ahead and change that really quickly. Want to make sure we make some money out of this, so let's go ahead and change that. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday afternoon. I just got off work, had a little bit of food put in me, and now I am ready to run this pay-per-view for all of you guys. And it looks like we are all good on the pay-per-view front. All of our emails are taken care of. All of our news are looked at. Everyone's signed that needs to be signed. All that's left to do is get straight to the fights. UFC 262 Adesanya versus Edwards. Let's go. Of course, taking place in London, England. Darren Till, the original challenger for the middleweight championship. It is now Rocky Edwards. And our first prelim of the afternoon in the women's flyweight division, Juliana Velasquez taking on Joanne Calderwood. Calderwood, in real life, is going to be fighting Jennifer Maia. She was originally supposed to be fighting Valentina Shevchenko for the championship, but Shevchenko's injured for a while, so she doesn't want to really wait, be put on the back burner. She wants to make some money while she can, so taking a fight. And pretty admirable of her. She could have just waited around, but she probably needs money too, so there's also that to take into consideration. Juliana Velasquez, her first fight straight out of Bellator. The the former flyweight champion of Bellator, 34 years of age, 13-0. She is undefeated, taking on Joanne Calderwood, former challenger for the title. First prelim of the afternoon, and our winner via unanimous decision is Juliana Velasquez. Already number 10 in the division, beating on a former title challenger that is surely going to get her noticed. Probably just a few wins away from a title shot is Velasquez. Up next in the light heavyweight division, Corey Hendricks taking on Jordan Young. And Corey Hendricks gets the win via knockout in round number 1. 246 is all it takes for Hendricks to put down Jordan Young. His first win in the UFC, and he calls it a beautiful kick. Up next, David Tamer taking on Musa Kamenayev. I don't know, on board. How's it going? New flyweight contender? Absolutely. And undefeated as well, 14-0. David Tamer taking on Musa Kamenayev. I believe this is Kamenayev's UFC debut. It sure is. Taking on David Tamer, who is 5-2 in the UFC. And Kamenayev coming out on top via unanimous decision. Lightweight has another prospect in Kamenayev. We move on. We have our first, England-born fighter on the card. Stephen Braveheart Ray, or I should say Scotland, UK basically. Stephen Braveheart Ray taking on Arman Tsarukyan. Tsarukyan's a really good prospect to look out for, in real life. 1-2 in the UFC, coming off a win over Aben Mercier, and then a loss to Davi Ramos kind of hurt him. Stephen Ray, on the other hand, coming off a loss to Mark Jakashi. Ray, a big favorite, and Stephen Braveheart Ray with the win over Tsarukyan via unanimous decision. Gives a show of respect to his opponent as we move right along. Brett the Pikey Johns taking on former title challenger and Michael Mayday McDonald. McDonald 20-4, coming off a loss in his UFC return, or actually, I'm sorry, coming off a win in his UFC return over Kyung Ho Kang. Absolutely not sure why he isn't ranked, but he takes on Brett the Pikey Johns, who is ranked at number 25 and is coming off a loss to Nathaniel Wood. McDonald actually the underdog here, but he gets the win. Submission in round number 3. Michael Mayday McDonald might be ranked come the end of the day. McDonald praises Johns for his skill and toughness. McDonald, another one to look out for in the bantamweight division. Sabina Masso taking on Miranda Fear the Maverick. 8-2 is Miranda. Sabina Masso is 9-1. 3-1 in the UFC. She's coming off a win over Nedjwiej. Meanwhile, Miranda Maverick 1-0 in the UFC, coming off her debut win over Priscilla Cachoeira. Miranda Maverick, a heavy favorite here at -200, and she gets the win via knockout in round number 2, handing Masso only her second loss of her career, now with the same records, both of them at 9-2. Both very young ladies, and she says she would like to fight Tiffany Teo in her next fight. Up next, Viviane Pereira taking on strong heart fighter Itsuki Harada. Harada, undefeated at 7-0, 21 years of age, not ranked, but she's coming off 3 straight wins in 1 championship. Meanwhile, Pereira, 14-3, ranks number 24 in the world at atomweight, 3-2 in the UFC, coming off a win over Janessa Mirandin. And your winner is Itsuki Harada, staying undefeated now at 8-0, only 21 years of age. Unanimous decision victory for Itsuki Harada. Up next, Nad Narimani taking on Rick the Gladiator Glenn. Lightweight division fight. Rick Glenn 21-7-1, 3-4 in the UFC, coming off 2 straight losses, last over Mateusz Gamrot. Might be fighting for his job here. Nad Narimani 4-1 in the UFC, coming off 2 straight wins over Mike Davis and Mark Madsen. And your winner in this lightweight is Nad Narimani, knockout in round number 1. Gets it done for the young man out of Bristol, England. 3 straight wins now. He might be ranked. Maybe why to watch out for Nad Narimani. Up next, in the middleweight division, Darren the Dentist Stewart taking on Rodolfo Vieira. Vieira is 7-1 in the middleweight division, 2-1 in the UFC, coming off a loss to Andre Muniz. Darren the Dentist Stewart, veteran of the Octagon, coming off 2 straight losses, might also be fighting for his job here, coming off a loss over Trevor Smith. And your winner via submission in round number 1 is Rodolfo Vieira. So Darren Stewart losing in his home crowd, 33, and you called him a young man. Who am I talking about? Vieira? I don't know. Yeah, 33 is not entirely old, as Vieira says he would like to fight Wellington Turman in his next fight. Up next, Meatball Molly McCann taking on Evil Jessica I. A very important fight in the flyweight division. Jessica I, number 3 in the division, coming off a win over Joanne Calderwood. Meanwhile, Molly McCann in her home, her home country of England, coming off 5 straight wins. Cachoeira, Lipsky, Belbita, Paige Van Zant, and then Jennifer Maya. A big one here, and Molly McCann gets the win via TKO in round number 1. Number 8 in the division has just beaten number 3 in the division, a 6-fight winning streak. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new number 1 contender in the flyweight division. And her name is Molly Meatball McCann. Congratulations, you get to fight Valentina Shevchenko. Alrighty. She said she would like to fight Macy Barber, but that's not who she'll be fighting next. Up next, Michael the Menace Johnson taking on the Motown phenom Kevin Lee. We are now officially at the main card. Everyone's paid their $65. Get the popcorn out. Gather the family around, Time to watch the UFC pay-per-view. Kevin Lee taking on Michael Johnson. Kevin Lee having a hard go of it, you know. Ranked number 19 in the division, coming off 2 straight losses over Dominic Cruz and Mirbek Taisimov. Had a win over Makhachev that got him, you know, pretty highly ranked. But now, you know, struggling a little bit. And he takes on Michael Johnson, who in his own right, you know, not doing the worst. Win over Francisco Trinaldo. Win over Makhachev, just like Kevin Lee. And then losing to Moicano in his last fight. Kevin Lee is a huge favorite at minus 380. Let's see what happens. The Motown Phenom, Kevin Lee, defeats Michael Johnson via Kimura in round number 1. His 20th win of his career. Michael Johnson, his 17th loss of his career. He's still a veteran. You know, he's got mid-level national popularity. We're not going to let him go unless his record gets absolutely atrocious. Kevin Lee invites everyone to a party. I wonder who's going to go. Up next in the bantamweight division, Dominic Cruz back in action as he takes on Montel Quick Jackson. Now, Jackson has had a pretty weird year. He's undefeated in the UFC. Came out of nowhere. Beat Raoni Barcelos in his first fight in the save. Then beat Pedro Munoz. Then beat Rob Font. Currently ranked only number 18. I figured he would be a little more highly ranked than that. And he takes on Dominic Cruz, ranked number 17 in the division. Coming off win over Kevin Lee, win over Jimmy Rivera, but then losing to Corey Sandhagen via unanimous decision. Dominic Cruz is the heavy favorite here. And your winner via unanimous decision is Dominic Cruz. No fight team for Montel Jackson. May have had a small part in it. Not 100% sure, however. Dominic Cruz is also throwing a party. Up next, 2 complete veterans of the Octagon. Diego the Nightmare Sanchez taking on the Immortal Matt Brown. Sanchez 32-12, a huge favorite in this, by the way. He's coming off 3 straight wins. Michel Pereira, Carlos Condit, and Alex Oliveira. Matt Brown, on the other hand, 16-11 in the Octagon. Coming off a win over Sean Brady. Defeated an previously undefeated Sean Brady, by the way. Alrighty. Diego Sanchez and Matt Brown. Team U8 forever. Obviously, Matt Brown will win because he's immortal. That is a very good point. However, Diego is a nightmare. And he has some funky stuff going on in his corner as well. Huge betting favorite. Diego, the Nightmare Sanchez, in 41 seconds, knocks out the immortal Matt Brown. Hoo boy. Sanchez back in the win column once again. He's also throwing a party. Diego has his third eye, though. It's a very good point. 41 seconds is all that it took to knock him out. Lightweight division co-main event. Dustin the Diamond Poirier invites Jeremy Stephens into the lightweight division. Lil Heathen. Oh boy. This will be his 35th? Jeremy Stephens' 35th fight in the UFC, for real? Oh my god, I guess so. Wow. I did not know that. 35. Wow, Jeremy Stephens has been around. I can only imagine how messed up that head of his is. Oh well. Dustin the Diamond Poirier taking on Jeremy Stephens in the lightweight division. My vote is for Dustin Poirier. And your winner via TKO in round number 1 is Dustin the Diamond Poirier. So he's now on a little 2-fight winning streak, but they're against opponents that aren't normally in the lightweight division. I love Jeremy. Too bad Dustin killed him. Yeah, it's a good point. I love Jeremy Stephens too. Tommy Ford, everyone's getting in just as the main event is about to start for the middleweight championship of the world. the last style bender, Israel Adesanya, taking on Leon Rocky Edwards for the middleweight championship of the world. And Timu in the chat can tell you, we love some Izzy. Even though his last fight was a little weird, you know, we love us some Israel Adesanya. As a Brit, let's go Izzy. I don't know, I'm bored. What is this? You're going against Rocky? What is that? Got to put on for your country, bro. Leon Rocky Edwards, of course, a natural welterweight, but he's able to make the move up. Darren Till was originally supposed to face Adesanya. Darren Till had to pull out due to injury. The only other option that made sense was Leon Rocky Edwards. English fighter, little bit of popularity. Coming off 2 straight wins, one a big one over Jorge Masvidal. Israel Adesanya, of course, still your middleweight champion, defending his championship twice in the save against Paulo Costa and then again against Robert Whittaker. It's the main event time for the middleweight championship of the world, and the betting odds have it very close. Let's go. Your main event of the evening for the middleweight championship. Mario Yamasaki's your referee. That's always scary. A 3-inch advantage for Adesanya in height. All right, leg kick for Adesanya. Great right hook for Adesanya. This is going to be very, very interesting. Adesanya in the pocket. Both fighters meeting in the center. Right hand. I like how Edwards is fighting out of AKA now. So he's training with Habib and Daniel Cormier. Right roundhouse kick to the ribs lands for Adesanya. Right cross landed hard for Adesanya. Adesanya moving into the pocket. Avoids a right head kick. Leon was always at AKA. I don't think Leon has always been at AKA. Uh-oh. Adesanya lands a vicious right cross. Adesanya senses victory, getting destroyed. Repeated blows to the head. Ladies and gentlemen, referee Mario Yamasaki has called a stop to this contest at 4 minutes 52 seconds of the very first round, declaring the winner by TKO and still the undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world, the last style bender, Israel Adesanya. All right. Izzy getting it done. Leon finally got that 2-piece and a soda. That is very correct, Mark. That is very correct. All right. So despite Darren Till not being on the card, 16,000 in attendance, a gate of 4 million, $20 million made off of pay-per-view. Calculator. $28,539,900 divided by 65. I mean, that's 320,000 pay-per-view buys. It is what it is. Murto says, F Izzy. Oh, that's blasphemy in here, sir. In this chat, we love Israel Adesanya. Popularity increases all around. You love to see it. Let's see. Fight of the night. Was there anything on the prelims that was worth taking a look at? We'll give it to Cruz and Jackson. It was a very close fight, apparently. 29-28, 29-28, 30-27. Now, as far as Diego Sanchez, 41 seconds. That's a performance bonus. Anything else that was noteworthy? Any early stoppages? Corey Hendricks, 246. Submission for Kevin Lee. Let's give Kevin Lee an extra 25,000. Alrighty. Hoo boy, look at that. Money. We love money here in the chat as well. $24 million in profit. All of that, of course, going into the bank. We're working towards the UFC network. Love to see it. I'm glad you guys can join. Got a little bit more of a crowd here. As always, we're going to take a look at our rankings, take a look at our emails, see what we have to re-sign, and then we'll go ahead and end this episode. We are going to keep on going. Remember, we have 2 pay-per-views in this month. So I'm going to do, I just did this pay-per-view. We're going to do I think it's Jacare versus Gastelum fight card. And then right after that, we have another pay-per-view. So stay tuned. Jay Murto really trying to test my patience here. Sounds like he's trying to catch the hands in UFC 3 again. Even though he beat me with CM Punk while I was using Usman. Took me to a decision. Which pay-per-views on Fight Island? Here, I mean, if we took a pay-per-view to like the Middle East, like in this save, we would not make any money. At least I don't think so. We would need to have like McGregor or somebody go. How are you guys' days going? What have you guys been up to? I don't know, on board all the way across the pond. Hope you're having a good day. Mark, you're from Texas, correct, Mark? Tyler No Shoes, hope you're having a great day. Tommy Ford, as always, appreciate you. Worked and watched some baseball. Yankees are playing the Nationals right now. I saw Giancarlo Stanton go deep. That was pretty nice. It's super weird with, with no crowd. And you can definitely tell that they're piping in the crowd noises. And it's super awkward because, like, I saw Garrett Cole strike somebody out. You could count 1, 2, 3, 4. And then immediately they start playing this, like, fake crowd noise. It's rained out. Oh, the Yankees game rained out. Oh, that's a bummer. Doyers tonight? No, thank you. Angels fans here in this chat. Any predictions for the upcoming fight card? I'm going to go ahead and say Darren Till. I'm going to say Shogun, but that fight really doesn't necessarily matter all that much. I have a feeling both of those guys are going to retire. I think Nog already said he's going to retire. And then Gustafsson. If Gustafsson loses, I would be heartbroken, and I don't really know what really could be done for him. If he loses, to a Verdum who's like decrepit and old, I really don't know what to say for Gustafsson. Darren Till, Smash Robert. I don't know about Smash. If anyone's getting a knockout, it's going to be Whitaker. I think Darren Till is going to do what he did to Gastelum. That's kind of just stay out of range, land, I think he'll take it to a decision and win. That's what I think Till will do. I remember Darren Till before his last fight said he didn't want to even go out there. So, we'll see. Probably got a little bit more confidence under his belt now that he got that Gastelum win, And basically, only a couple wins away from a title shot as well. Let's go ahead and update our rankings as usual. Heavyweight division, there is no movement. Light heavyweight, no movement. At middleweight, there is no movement. At welterweight, Diego Sanchez is now ranked. Good for him. At lightweight, Kevin Lee moves up to number 12. Michael Johnson down to number 22. Featherweight, there is no movement. Bantamweight, Dominic Cruz is up to 13. Jackson is down to 20. And Darion Caldwell debuts at number 25, despite not, having a fight at all in the UFC. We need to get him a fight, by the way. Darion Caldwell. Flyweight, there is no movement. Featherweight, there is no movement. Remember, our number 1 contender is Megan Anderson. Bantamweight, there is no movement. Flyweight, Molly McCann is in at number 3. Juliana Velasquez is number 8. And Molly McCann is our new number 1 contender for the Women's Flyweight Championship. How long is she out for? 2 months. Okay. It's kind of a ways away. Shevchenko, it's May. I mean, she last fought in March. She can wait that long. She can wait another 2 months. Molly McCann, your number one contender. Women's strawweight, there is no movement. Once again, the next time I see you guys will be for UFC on ESPN, Jacare versus Gastelum 2. You can see the main card for that one right there. Got Souza Gastelum, Sanhagen Song, Karate Hottie versus Grasso, De Bronx Oliveira versus Alexander Hernandez, Ray Borg versus Asuncao, and then Akhmedov versus Costello Van Steenis. Got to re-sign Jessica I. Let's go ahead and do that. Stephen Ray, we need to re-sign. English prospect, for sure. Leon Edwards, we need to re-sign. I mean, credit to him. Took the fight on short notice. Wasn't able to get it done, but Leon Edwards doesn't really lose anything out of that. Still low-level nationals in the British Isles. Israel Adesanya needs to be re-signed. This is our boy. High-level international in Australia. Low-level international in America. I mean, he's going to be expensive, but he is a draw for sure. So we're going to go ahead and sign him. Ooh, and he wants more money. Alrighty, 300K per fight for Izzy. Molly McCann. Liam is from Birmingham. He's a joke. Ouch. Molly McCann. Gonna re-sign her. The Meatball. Sarukian. I mean, 1-3, 2 straight losses. Low-level regional. He's a really good prospect. But I'd rather he go out, get some wins under his belt, and then come back. Sarukian, will go ahead and depart from him. Don't need Velasquez on our short list anymore. Alrighty. MNC and main events. Let's go ahead and get those started right now. Alrighty. So for everyone watching on YouTube, the next time I see you guys will be UFC on ESPN, Jacare versus Gastelum. If you're here on Twitch, stay tuned. Jacare versus Gastelum is coming soon. And then we also have our next pay-per-view, which is going to be right after that one, which is John Jones versus Dominic Reyes 2. And look at the card there. Luque Chiesa, Weidman Nick Diaz, Nate Diaz versus Robbie Lawler, GSP versus Colby for the welterweight championship, and then John Jones and Dominic Reyes. Stay tuned. If you're watching on YouTube, I will see you next time. Have a good one.